Heyo, Jojo here, and welcome to my playthrough of Cemetery Mary. Apparently it's like a horror visual novel, sort of. Mystery, I think. Um, yeah, so let's just jump right in here. I'm actually a little concerned considering I don't really hear anything through my headset in terms of music. Warning, this game contains themes and depictions of the following: stalking, kidnapping, strong language, blood, murder, suicide. Oh, goody. Uh, oh, there's the music. I've never been to a funeral that I didn't enjoy. That is, until very recently. And I wasn't quite sure how to feel. It was a beautiful service, and one they certainly deserved. If only it had come later in their lifetime. And maybe it could have been prevented. If there wasn't a murderer in my city. That's what everyone's been saying, anyways. The Blackwood Butcher. That's what they called them, at least. It was hard not to overhear the rumors people said about them. I heard they strike at night. I heard they only target one person at a time and don't stop until they're dead. I heard it's a ghost blindly seeking revenge. I didn't believe in any of it. At least, not at first. But my parents did. And because of that, they didn't like me going off to the cemetery alone, staying until it closed. Okay. Walking home by myself in the dark. Even though it was only across the street, these rumors had made them afraid for my safety. Do you really believe they're real? I asked my father. I do, he answered. Are you really worried for me? My mother did not say anything, but that is to be expected. They thought I was a perfect target, but I still didn't believe in it. Still, they were worried for me. So they sent me off to live with my aunt, uncle, and cousin. They didn't live far, at least not anymore. They moved from their fancy home in gorgeous Helen City? What? To a small little cabin in the woods. I never understood why, but I never really asked about it either. My parents felt I would be safer with them. I didn't want to leave, but every day I stayed only seemed to stress them out more. So I went, to make them feel better. For the first few weeks, everything was fine. I barely left the house, barely went to town anymore, and when I did, I was always with someone, taking all precautions to avoid becoming the victim of the butcher. But still, I thought it was only a rumor. Even if the number of deaths in our community increased, I never thought that I or someone I knew would be a victim. Then, that thing happened to those two, and for the first time, I was worried. Shortly after that, my own parents disappeared. They weren't in the diner, nor could I contact them. Even the authorities couldn't figure it out. No one had seen them. It was as if they had suddenly vanished, as if they were killed off. I don't like to think about that possibility. Actually, well, there was also that other thing that's happened. You want to be more specific, please? Maybe I should have told the authorities about it, or anyone for that matter. But I was too afraid of what might happen if I did. Your parents are safe. Unknown number? What? Huh? Ah, I knew I would fall asleep if I sat down. Is it raining outside? It wasn't supposed to rain today. The light's on outside. Is Croven? I think. Out there? Interesting name. I better go check. Oh dear. Uh, save? Oh, that's kind of adorable. Save there. Cool. Return? Interesting. Oh, what are you doing out here? It's raining, you're out here. Where's Aunt and Uncle? Finish dinner, come inside. You were just asleep, though. How did you finish dinner? Quit it, Mary. How many times do I have to tell you? They went to hell. Oh. Oh dear, did her expression change? Well, clearly he is out here smoking, so... It's spaghetti. I used your favorite sauce, too. Okay, I'll be inside in a second. Just let me put this out. I like how their dialogue has different sounds for their voices. Not that they're speaking, but, you know, their text speech, I should say. All the food is cold. I know, I fell asleep after I made it. Oh god. Why do I feel like I have to save a bunch? That was weird. I made too much. Are you upset with me for what I said earlier? Or what did she say earlier? I don't remember. That. I just wanted to take a seat in the living room, but it's fine. I'm not complaining. It kind of sounded like you were, though. Other than that, we didn't say much, and dinner was quiet. I cleaned up most of it, but Crovin helped a little bit. After that, he went to go sit in the living room. Once I finished cleaning the kitchen up, I joined him, like usual. She looks so sad. Normally after dinner, when Crovin and I sit together, we do something fun. We play a game on our phones together, or we get out a board game or play cards, talk about our days if something exciting happened. But that's when Aunt and Uncle were still alive, presumably. Crovin's been in a pretty bad mood since. It's not as if I can blame him. Yeah, for sure. I want to talk to him, but I don't really know if he's much in the mood to talk. Attempt conversation or go to bed. Why you do this to me? I don't know. Why not? Crow, do you want to talk about it? There's something to talk about. I've still got my old therapist's number, you know. Crovin? Ain't there a reason she was your old one? I know. But she was good at this kind of stuff. And I've been thinking that maybe... Shut up, Mary. Just shut up already. Can't I be bitter over it? Why are you trying so hard to rush me into therapy, huh? Thought you knew about this shit better than anyone, but here you are. I'm not gonna stop being upset just because you missed me being all happy, smiley and shit. Can't you just stop... Oh dear. I'll get over it when I get over it. Yeah. Yeah, anger seems to be one of the stages of grief and whatnot. Maybe get your own life and then you'll stop worrying so much over mine. Sorry. I think I ended up making Crovin more agitated trying to talk to him. Oh well. After a few more moments of awkward sitting, I went upstairs and headed to my bedroom. I didn't want to make Crovin angrier than I had already. I brushed my teeth and got changed in my pajamas. I stretched out on what you can consider my bed. The room I have in the cabin is nice. It's not like my room back in my actual home, but I've stayed here so long I've been able to decorate it a bit more to my liking. It's a pleasant room to stay in, even if it's not quite home. Of course, I don't normally sleep right away. I usually read a book or watch a movie on my laptop or lie awake thinking of every embarrassing thing that's happened in my life. Why is that so relatable? But as of recent, I've picked up a different nighttime ritual, one that's nowhere near as pleasant. Oh dear. The text message I had received the days following my parents' disappearance. It was from a number I didn't recognize. Your parents are safe, it had said. I know I should have done something smart. I should have told someone. But instead, I texted the number back, and they responded to me. I've noticed that other than the first message, they don't usually reach out to me. It's me who keeps texting them, hoping to find out what's happening behind all this. Are you still awake? I'm awake whenever you want to talk. Are my parents alright? Will you tell me who you are? I'm sure there's a reason why we're giving so many save spots. Tell me who you are? That I cannot do. My identity must remain hidden. Forever? No, not forever. Then why can't you just tell me who this is? Because it's not safe. Wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it be safe? You have to trust me on that. I don't trust you at all. How did you even get my number? Your parents gave it to me. Why would they do that? Because they care about you. You must be lying to me. My parents wouldn't do something like that. I'm sorry you don't know your parents as well as you think you do. What does that mean? Seriously, you freak me out. I just want my parents back. Please don't drag this out. I just want them back home. You should get some rest. It's late, isn't it? I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't like to text for too long. Until then, goodbye. Goodbye. What interesting decor she has in her bedroom. They suggested that I get some rest, but how do they expect me to do that? I've never felt more restless in my life. Even asleep, I knew I wouldn't rest. When I woke up the next morning, Corbin had already left for the day. But that wasn't a surprise. He'd been staying out late and leaving super early ever since the incident. I think being home bothers him. I'm not surprised. Whenever I pass the diner, I too feel like not being there. It's not the same without Mom and Dad, after all. Despite the cabin being out in the middle of the woods, it really isn't all that hard to get back to Blackwood. Outside of our cabin is a faint dirt trail. It gets a bit twisty at some parts, but isn't too confusing. It takes about 15 minutes to walk down, but maybe 10 if you're fast. At the end of the trail, there's a fence, one with a slight gap in it, and past that fence, there's a little community. It isn't big. A few trailers with a few people living all the way out here, far from anything that's, well, anything. But there's a road here, and a bus that comes through. It runs through Blackwood, so whenever we need to leave, we take this bus. And then, after the end of a short trip, you're in Blackwood. Oh, definitely a lot more color here. It's the city I grew up in, and I always really loved it. There's a library, the local stores, but my most favorite place to be is in the Blackwood Cemetery. It's got lots of trees to read under and the prettiest headstones I've ever seen. There's a mausoleum too, though I've never been inside. Private mausoleum, you know? I don't know who it belongs to. Anyways, I always try to leave flowers when I visit, at least every so often, and I visit a lot. I like to think it helps them, you know? Not feel lonely. That's sweet, if not a bit disturbing. I would not choose a cemetery as my first choice in locations. And then, after having spent my day in Blackwood, I come back home the same way I left. But I always make sure no one sees the way I come back home. Just in case, you know? Smart. Really smart. Despite the recent events, I too leave the cabin more than ever now. Crovin is rarely home, and I don't like being here alone. I know I'm just being paranoid, but I don't like the thought that maybe the butcher could find me out here all alone, even if that's the whole reason I'm here in the first place. So I go out a lot now. I feel more comfortable surrounded by lots of people. Despite how things may seem, I always prefer to be around people's anyway. That's one reason why I like to go to the cemetery so often. There's always people there, even if you can't see them. No, I don't think so, but okay, we'll go with your reasoning there. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Crovin's gone, and the bus I take into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? Ooh, that's actually a good question. Where do we want her to go? Somewhere new might be good for you. So let's do the library. Why not? I decided to go to the library. There's nothing quite like a good book. My favorite kind of books are mysteries. Not necessarily murder mysteries, but mysteries in general. In fact, I kind of prefer it when the mysteries don't involve anyone dying. Okay, there's a lot less tension there, you know? But maybe I'm just too soft. I also quite enjoy manga. Yes, a fellow nerd. Especially the shoujo kind. I feel almost embarrassed to like them, but I find that they're cute and nice. And I like seeing characters fall in love. Yeah, shoujo. Maybe that's what I'll try to find at the library today. I stepped into the library and began to make my way over to my favorite spot. A tucked away corner in the library right by a single window. Sometimes I'd spend the entire day in that corner, just reading. I've even managed to finish entire books without leaving the library. I looked forward to doing something like that again today, but when I got to my favorite spot, I noticed a man was already sitting there. I was surprised because usually this library was pretty empty. But this man, he's familiar. I've met him before. Oh, my apologies. Did I take your seat? Oh, it's you. Mary. Mary Anta, right? Ah, that's right. I remember you. From the funeral, right? He's got snake eyes. I don't like this. Indeed. Do you remember my name? Reginald? That's right. It's a pleasure to see you here. I was hoping I'd run into you one day. Oh? I hope it doesn't come off weird. You were just a pleasant person to be around. You really brought life into that funeral. Okay, not weird at all. Oh, really? Thank you, I think. So, what brings you to the library today? Oh, well, I didn't really have plans, so I thought I'd just check out a book or something. Likewise. What kind of book were you interested in checking out? Be honest, a shoujo, lie, mystery novel. Be honest. Don't hide your inner nerd. I'm actually here to look for a shoujo manga. A shoujo manga? What's that? Oh, it's like, do you know what a manga is? I have an idea, but I can't say I've ever read one myself. Well, it's like one of those, but it usually centers around the romance between two main characters. And sometimes they're like friends or rivals. But I really like the comedy ones, because you get cute jokes mixed into the romance. Oh, she's blushing. But sometimes the drama ones are really cute too, and they can get really intense. And, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not good at explaining things. Same. No worries, I think you did a good job. A shoujo. Sounds interesting. Perhaps I'll check one out myself later. I'm trying to be more open to new things after all. Anyways, what are you here to read? Me? I'm reading Manslaughter on the Disorient Locomotive. What? Oh, I've been meaning to read that one too. Do you want it then? What? Oh, no, that's okay. Please take your time. Just, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell me when you're done with it? You know, so I could maybe read it after? I'm fine with that. Though I've already gotten pretty far in and I don't think I'll be finished by today. You have a cell phone, yes? Would it be alright if I have your number? That way I can notify you as soon as I'm finished. And well, I'd like to try to be friends too, if that's alright. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, of course. Oh no, don't give your number out to strangers. You don't really know this person. They exchanged phone numbers. I was shocked he even remembered me. But I'd considered meeting him again a pleasant surprise, and one I really appreciated. After our exchange, I picked out a shoujo book from one of the shelves and began to read in one of the other spots in the library. I ended up liking it so much I looked for the other books and brought two or three more home with me to read later. I don't know why that was difficult for my brain to process and speak out loud. After I came home, had dinner, and cleaned the kitchen up, I began my usual nighttime routine. I got changed into pajamas, brushed my teeth, sat on my bed, texted whoever they are. Hi, it's me again. Are you there? Yes. You're still not going to tell me anything, are you? No. Can I ask you something even if you won't give me an honest answer anyway? Okay. Are you the Blackwood Butcher? Would I tell you if I was? Are you afraid for their safety? Of course, why wouldn't I be? I see. Why do you have them? Should I be afraid for my own safety? I don't like having this many options. I'm totally gonna forget the context of my saves too, most likely. Should I be afraid of my own safety? Why do you have them? Who I am to tell you. Wait. Who am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't be afraid of? Your fears are your own to judge. You're way too vague. Why do you even contact me to begin with? I thought you'd like to know about your parents. I'm only trying my best to keep you happy. You think I'm happy? Maybe not now, but you will be. I have to go now. Goodbye. Bye. After another frustrating and unsettling night of text messages, I got under the covers and tried my best to sleep. It wasn't easy, and I had a lot of difficulty trying. I don't remember exactly when, but eventually I was able to sleep, even if not peacefully. Dad? Aw, a younger version of her. Yes, sweetheart? Yes? It's a very deep voice. Is something wrong? Mama told me that Uncle Ray died. Did she now? Are we going to see him? No, no. You don't need to worry about that. I don't? But listen, Mary. Normally when someone passes, you hold a funeral for them, right? Yeah. The thing about funerals, though, is that they're for people who are worth remembering. Ooh. Ooh, implying that he's not. Very much so. Oh, alrighty. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed to my favorite outfit, the same one she wears every day. Robin's gone, and I take the bus out in the town. Should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? The cafe? No. Sure, we'll go down the list. I'm sure there's plenty of time to... I decided to go to the new cafe that opened up. Planet Dollars is a popular coffee chain, but we never had one in this town. Well, until now, that is. I've always wanted to go to one just to try it, you know? Although, I don't actually like coffee. Same, I do not drink the stuff. But still, I could at least see what they had, right? When I got to the cafe, it was already packed. I thought since it had already been around for a few weeks, some of the hype surrounding it would have died down. But I guess not, seeing as how noisy and crowded it was. Still, at least it was something different from usual. As I said, I'm not particularly fond of coffee, and since I had a light breakfast anyway, I decided to treat myself with a muffin. A chocolate muffin. Because sweet foods are the best. However, I found myself in a bit of a pinch when I tried to look for some place to sit down. It seems as though everyone's seats were already taken, and I really didn't want to walk and eat at the same time. Luckily, though, I was able to find an empty seat. Oh dear. She looks angry. A girl around my age with the most spectacular eyebrows was diligently working on her laptop with an empty seat across from her. I figured she must be writing an essay for college or something. Coffee shops are popular with people in college, or so I hear. Seeing as this was the only seat left, I asked her, "Excuse me, may I sit here?" She didn't verbally answer me. Rather, she glanced over at me, rolled her eyes, and nodded to the empty chair. I tried to look apologetic as I sat. "Thank you." Stay quiet. She clearly does not want to be bothered right now. I cannot. What? I can't. Stay quiet. You have the most spectacular eyebrows. No, we're not doing. She does not want to be bothered. Leave her to do her work. Hey, thanks for being quiet while I work. I appreciate it. Oh, of course, no problem. What are you working on, if I may ask? So you're interested in what I'm doing here? Well, yes, I guess. You seem to be very focused, after all. As focused as I can be. What's your name? Me? I'm Mary. Twyla, nice to meet you. Anyways, I'm working on a report. A report? Like, for school? No. Have you noticed something odd going on in town recently? Something odd? I'm not surprised if you haven't heard about it. It's like the police are trying to dull suspicions, or just arrest potential suspects so everyone can feel safe. Oh, are you talking about the killing rumors? The Blackwood Butcher, right? Don't say it out loud, but yes, how did you know? Oh, well, I've been hearing the rumors for a while now. And actually, my aunt and uncle died pretty recently. They were, killed. Really? Uh-huh. That's actually pretty... How did they die? Oh, I don't know. No one really told me, but the circumstances were strange. Like, they didn't die naturally. There was definitely someone else involved. At least, that's what I've been told. Uh-huh. Interesting. You know, maybe you can help me with this report. And, some other stuff. Oh, I can? Yeah. If you're okay with that, of course. Oh, yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, having a killer around is bad, so if I can help, like, raise awareness or something. I mean, like, yes! I'd like to help you. Thanks. Oh, this will really put me ahead. I have to go, actually. I'm running late for something. Here, give me your phone number. I'm not entirely sure I'll need your help, but I'd rather have a way to contact you just in case. Oh, yeah, of course. Making friends. If only it was as easy as this in real life. Twyla and I exchanged phone numbers. After, she packed her laptop and was picked up by a car outside. Come to think of it, I didn't actually see her drink any coffee or order any food. I guess maybe she finished before I got there. I don't know why she would choose such a noisy place to work, though. Huh. Now that you mention it. After spending my day looking in some nearby stores, I went home pretty tired. I ate leftovers for dinner and yawned more than once as I got changed into pajamas. Plopped myself onto bed and pulled out my phone, ready to continue the nightly conversation. You're there, right? Oh, of course I am. I don't know why I keep contacting you. I guess I'm just afraid if I don't, you'll disappear or something. It's unlikely. I know you won't tell me where my parents are, but can you at least tell me why you took them? No. Why not? I don't know who could be seeing these messages. I'm not showing them to anyone. Are you worried about being traced? Oh, it doesn't work when I click it. I have to actually use the mouse. You expect me to trust that? You expect me to trust you? Fair point. I really don't see how this works. How am I supposed to trust you aren't or someone dangerous if you don't give me any info to go off of? Especially when I haven't heard from my parents. Goodbye, Mary. Sleep well. Yikes. I felt sick that night as I tried to go to sleep. I tossed and turned so many times, and yet I was still too tired to get up and tried something else. I don't remember when, but eventually I was able to fall asleep. I didn't sleep very well, though. Hmm. I'm not going back out there. Oh, you. You saw how they were looking at me. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry. I just... Maybe it's better if I don't anymore. Don't what? I'm so confused. What's going on? After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast, got changed in my favorite outfit. Yep, same old dialogue. Where should I go today? We'll try the cemetery today. I went to my favorite place, the cemetery. The cemetery is pretty much on the same block as my family's restaurant. They have a restaurant right next to it, in fact. All you have to do is cross the street and it's on the same side of the road. I think my parents chose this location because it's good for business. That's what Mom always told me, anyway. People are usually hungry after a funeral. Okay. Crying takes a lot out of you, after all. I guess. I was always glad to live there because I really love visiting the cemetery. I like to walk down the rows and see who got flowers that day. That's what I do most days. Sometimes I'll pick my own flowers to just leave on the graves and look like they've been forgotten about. Actually, I'm actually quite known for the cemetery. Some people have even began to use a nickname for me, though I don't know how many of them even know what I look like. God, that was so much for me to Just get out. When I arrived at the cemetery gates, however, I was surprised to see Crovin standing there with what looked like a new friend. Crovin? Mary? Ugh, did you follow me? Huh? No, I didn't. You know I always come here. Yeah, but that's usually not till later. Why are you here so early? I mean, it's not as if I had anything better to do. Well, do you have to be here right now? I'm kind of on a date. A date in the cemetery? Oh, this is a date. I mean, it can be if you want it to be. I'll think about it. Doesn't sound like a date to me, you jerk. Who's your friend? How was I supposed to know you'd be here? Oh, this is Vasilis? I met him at the arcade. Yo. Sorry, Mary, but can you please go? Yeah, I kind of really want to go too. I don't have the energy for this right now. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I'll I'll see you later. Later. See you some other life, Mary. That was weird. I left Crovin alone. I didn't want to interrupt his little date or whatever. I especially didn't want to make him more mad at me. However, I wasn't going to let him stop me from going to the cemetery. I continued on past the gates and stepped inside. It seemed emptier than usual. It didn't look like any funerals were being held today. Would it be mean of me to wish there was? That's, yeah, a little not okay, Mary. A little not okay. Yeah, it probably would be. Yep. Forget I said anything about like that. It was really awful. It was a really awful thing to say. When nighttime rolled around, I headed back home. I slipped into my pajamas, headed to bed. Okay, that's the only interaction we have? I had someone I needed to talk to first. Good evening again. Good evening. May I ask you something? You always do. How did you know my name is Mary? I've always known. Huh? I've always known what your name is. Have we met before? If we did, you probably wouldn't remember. If? So we didn't meet? Take the if as a maybe. We may have met before. But would it make any difference if you didn't remember me? It would be as if we were meeting for the first time. That's weird. I'm uncomfortable. Any updates on my parents? They are fine. Will I ever see them again? Yes. Because I'm coming to get you too. That sounds a little ominous. I just need more time. Good night, Mary. That sounds super ominous. I went to sleep feeling pretty shaken that night. I tried not to think about it. I'm surprised I was able to get any sleep at all. I'm surprised I didn't have any nightmares either. Uncle Cross? Yeah, Mary? Uncle Cross, can I ask you a question? Sure thing, kiddo. Shoot. How'd you lose your eye? Ah, Mary. That's not. It's fine, I don't mind. I lost my eye in war. You were in war, Uncle Cross. I was. I won't get into the specifics of it, but it was important to me that I protect my family in any way I could. Do you miss it? My eyeball? Yeah. You know something? Not as much as I thought I would. I think I would miss you a bunch more. Oh, that was a sweet interaction. So I wonder what falling out the dad and the uncle had for the dad to comment about his funeral not being worth attending. I woke up late the next morning, must have been pretty tired after the last few days. Dragged myself out of bed and followed my normal morning routine. Got changed in my favorite outfit, had breakfast, etc. And of course, Crovin was nowhere to be seen. However, when I checked my phone that morning, I realized he had sent me a message. To my surprise, there were other messages as well from my new friends. Who should I read first? Oh, don't make me choose. Don't make me choose. I don't like the fact I gotta choose. Hey, Mary. What the what? my brain just like spazzed the hell out. Mary's Twyla, if you're. Good morning, Miss Mary. Um. So his came in first. can't click unknown number. Oh, I like how they have little icons representing sort of the animals they kind of look like. So her eyebrows were kind of like an owl's. Reginald, though, I don't think a puffer fish fits him exactly. He had snake-like eyes. And for some reason, I don't trust the dude. Let's go with Twyla. Mary's Twyla. If you're still interested in helping me, I'll be at the library around noon today. It should be quieter there. And there's some books I want to pick up for research purposes. Meet me there if you can, but if not, I'll just call you up another time. Oh, I'm gonna read them all? Anyway? Okay, I thought this was an actual choice that I'd not have to change. Hey Mary, I'm sorry. I know I've been acting pretty nasty to you lately. I hope you know I don't mean it. Have you been to the Planet Dollars yet? I'll be heading there for lunch today. Maybe at like 12:30? You should come and have lunch with me. My treat. And then I can, like, formally apologize or whatever. Oh no. It's even worse. I'm gonna have options on who to hang out with for the day. And someone's gonna be salty. Good morning, Miss Mary Anta. I hope you're doing well today. You had asked about the book the other day, right? Well, I'd actually finished it quicker than I expected to. I'd really love to give it to you, but I won't be at the library today. I'm actually going to be at the cemetery. You like that place, though, right? How do you... Okay. You should come see me, then I can pass the book over to you. I don't trust you, stranger danger. Stranger danger! I'll be there a quarter afternoon or so. Then maybe after we can grab lunch or something together? I hope this doesn't come off as weird. I'd just like some company for my lunch break. Call me back. No number? I can't click anything else, right? Exit phone. I was messaged by each of them. However, I think I'll only have time to meet up with one of them today. Where should I go today, then? No, why did you do this to me? I don't want to. I don't want it. So Twyla's the more interesting option, but I know relationship-wise, Croven's probably going to be the best bet. He is trying to make up to me his shitty attitude, but I'm definitely not going to the cemetery today. There's no way. There's no way. I don't trust Reginald at all. I really want to go to the library or the cafe. Shoot. Well, I'll get this option to choose again anyway. We'll go with the cafe. It was a tough choice, but I had to choose one of them. I told the others I had plans and that I'd have to meet with them some other time. Then when noon rolled around, I headed to my destination. I spotted Croven pretty quickly. Dressing the way we do, it wasn't that hard. I'd recognize those red and black striped sleeves from a mile away. When Croven saw me, he gave me a hug. Oh, and made me realize just how long it had been since he last hugged me. His arms felt relaxed and he was wearing his classic smile. For a moment, it looked as if he was back to his normal old self. We had lunch together, and like he promised, it was his treat. Oh, I totally didn't, read what that just said. So you definitely dabbed? Of course I did. You know I had to do it to him. That's so you. I know, right? I thought about mentioning how happy I was that we were starting to feel alright, don't do that, but I was worried that bringing it up, he might get upset again. So I just kept the conversation going. There was no reason to bring it up anyways. So would you consider it a successful date? Oh yeah, totally. I mean, they looked ready to kill me by the end of it, but in a fun way, you know? Kind of like how when Mom looks at Dad whenever he makes a bad pun? Exactly. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Do you think you'll take them out again? Maybe. Wow. Going on a date sounds fun. Oh, don't worry, Mars. Someone will take you out too one day. So anyways, do you like it here? The Planet Dollars, I mean. I always thought it was overhyped, but now that we have one, it actually ain't too shabby. Oh, actually, I've been here before. Oh, you have? When? Oh, I was here just the other day because I wanted to check it out. Funnily enough, we sat at this table too. Oh, you did? Wait. Who's we? Did you suddenly make friends behind my back? Huh? Oh. When I was here, the place was pretty packed, so the only empty seat was at this table. But some other girl was sitting here too, and I guess we are kind of like friends now? I mean, I just met her, but we're keeping in contact, so. Name's Twyla? Twyla? Yeah. Is there a problem with that? Mary, listen to me. I'm saying this because I care about you. Stay away from Twyla. Huh? Why? You just can't talk to her, okay? I can't. Urgh. Of all the people you had to talk to her, she's the kind of girl who'd stab the devil in the ass with his own pitchfork. Oh, the imagery! I love it. Seriously, you shouldn't be talking to her. Do you know her? Yet something happened between you two. You've never mentioned her before, and Mary, please. I know I'm coming off really bad right now, and you probably think I'm being a giant dick, but just don't talk to her. You just can't. I want to be her friend. If she's that bad, I'll watch my back. Oh my! I'll I'll placate him. I already promised I'd help her with some stuff, but I trust your reason for disliking her, even if I don't know what they are. I think it's a little late to back out the arrangement, but I'll definitely take what you said to heart. I'll be careful. Good, you should be. Come on, let's go throw the trash out. Well, we learned a little bit about Twyla. Crowben was still salty over Twyla even after I had attempted to drop the conversation. He said he wouldn't talk about it anymore. But I better not ever mention him to Twyla. Ever. We tried to spend the rest of the day together, but it was more than apparent that he wasn't in a good mood anymore. At least by the time we started heading home, he had calmed down to a much more normal state. After getting home, he said he was going to smoke outside for a little bit, so I let him and headed upstairs and did what I do every night. Hi. Hello. Can we talk about the thing you said the other night? I haven't been able to stop thinking about it ever since you said it. What's bothering you? You said that you were coming for me, that you just needed more time. Are you really going to steal me too? It'll be alright, I promise. It's for the best. You're gonna make me feel sick all over again. What do you want me to tell you? That I'll get to see my parents again, who you really are? I mean, he's not gonna tell you. And I assume the answer I'll get to this is, oh, you will. You will. Exactly. See. My intuition. At least, that's what's planned. You shouldn't worry yourself sick over something like that. I promise I'm taking extra good care of them. Somehow, that's so hard to believe. You'll see. I wouldn't do anything to disappoint you. Well, when will this be over? Soon, hopefully. I just need more time. You'll hang on for me, won't you? Do I have a choice? Sweet dreams, Mary. Ooh, the text messages just get weirder and weirder. Ugh, I can't. I didn't sleep at all that night. I really didn't. There were a few times I shut my eyes or tried to, but nothing would calm me down anymore at this point. My anxiety was through the roof. I just wanted Mom and Dad back. I wanted to know for certain that they were okay. It should have been me that was taken. Maybe it was supposed to be. The next morning when I got up, Croven was still home. Oh, he seemed to be acting pretty normal for once. At the very least, not agitated. But despite this, I didn't sit and have breakfast with him. I wasn't in the mood to really talk to anyone. Not right now. Not after last night. It was too much. I just wanted some private time to myself. I just wanted to cool down. As I was about to leave, Crow called out to me. Not eating breakfast, Mars. I responded. Not today, I'm not hungry. I'm just gonna pick something up while I'm out. Why am I giving so many options? I hate that I'm given so many options. Not today. He responded with a simple okay, and after that, I was out the door. Maybe that would have been his answer for all of them. It just doesn't matter. I just wanted to go to that place and not be bothered. On the bus ride there, all three of them texted me again. Croven said he noticed I left pretty quickly and hoped I wasn't upset with his behavior lately. Twyla talked about some of her progress on her research, and Reginald said he'd be at the cemetery again today. Although I appreciated their messages, I really just needed to be alone. I needed to go back there and just relax. No, that's not the right word. I wasn't going there to relax. I was going there to mourn. Oh, the Red Dine. It's where I grew up, her family's restaurant. I lived my whole life in this diner. Restaurant? Bistro? I never knew the right word for places like this. We always had such silly names for it since it was next to the cemetery. Re- oh no. Don't tell me you were these type of people. The restaurant in peace, sometimes the Mary, you're on my shit list. You and your father. Oh, even just simply dined it. I always wondered if others caught on. You probably wouldn't know just from looking at it, but there's 2 floors. The bottom floor is the diner itself. I've eaten there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sometimes all on the same day. The top floor is more like a house, our house. There's bedrooms, a bathroom, and even a small living space with TV. It can be a little cramped sometimes, but it's cozy. No one could get up there but me and my parents, of course. The upstairs is locked. You need a key, which I have, of course. After Mom and Dad went missing, the authorities locked this place up, and it's been locked ever since. They don't want anyone going in there, not even me. Because, I don't know, it's kind of like a crime scene or something. But I still have the key to the front, too. It's my house, after all. I carefully scanned the area around me as I stood in the parking lot. There were a few cars that passed by, maybe a person or two on the sidewalk, but no one really seemed to pay me any mind. It was still a bit early in the morning, so it wasn't surprising to see a few people out. I looked over my shoulders a few more times to make sure no one was watching me. Then I stepped to the front door and locked it and took a step inside, closing the doors carefully behind me. When I stepped inside, I was instantly hit with a wave of all different kinds of emotion. It is late at night when I'm recording this, so my brain's just like done. It had been I had been avoiding the diner for a long time because whenever I passed it, I would just think of Mom and Dad and feel sad. But now stepping inside, it felt nice, at least a little bit. Just being able to be in my own house after so long, it was bittersweet. On one hand, I felt so happy just to be home. Everything was just as I had left it. The light still entered through the windows the same way it always did. It smelled faintly of delicious food, even though the kitchen hadn't been used for a while. Even Mom's special board was on the same spot, but it felt so empty, so desolate, so abandoned. There wasn't even any electricity here. This place was hardly ever empty. We always had customers, and the diner always did well. There was hardly a moment where I'd come downstairs and only see Mom or Dad. There were always people, even if it was just one person here. The counter would be full of coffee drinkers at night and in the mornings. I'd see families come by for dinner, or people out on dates come here. I always loved being able to see that there were so many good memories in this place. Like, what's so specific about your 13th birthday, the married couple that came in, the time we had a Halloween party? Lucky number 13. Not to say I didn't enjoy my following birthdays or previous birthdays, but my 13th birthday was especially enjoyable. That was the day my parents got me a tarantula. Oh. And I had been begging them for months, and they finally gave in and let me get one. I always loved tarantulas, despite the way others often view them. I hate spiders. Can't do it. Or maybe it was in spite of how people viewed them. But I always knew that they were gentle if you were nice to them. The way you should be. I picked the biggest and fuzziest one they would allow me to get. I named her Shelly, and I'd collect seashells to put in her enclosure. I even put cute little bows on the outside of it. I always wanted to show Shelly to others, but of course, they didn't like her as much as I did. I really loved Shelly, but she ended up getting sick. Oh, really sick. None of the vets could even figure out what was wrong with her. Around sometime last year, she died. I was so miserable I didn't even want to eat, but Mom knew my weaknesses. She began making all my favorite fruits for me. It was hard being hungry and miserable at the same time. Even though it was just food, it helped me feel a lot better. Standing here, almost as if I could smell her still making it, and Dad would sit with me at the counter and make sure I got my fair share of dad puns for the day. I love being able to sit with them and eat and joke around. But now it was all covered in dust, and no one's here. Where should I go? Mom's and Dad's room, my room. Let's go to their room. I decided to walk up to my parents' room. I just missed them so much I couldn't bring myself not to. I stepped into my parents' room. The curtains were drawn open, and the warm light flooded into the room as the sun finally came out from behind the clouds today. I could still smell some of my mom's perfume lingering in the air. Everything was so neat, just as they had always kept things. You wouldn't even have guessed they were kidnapped. There were no signs of struggle or even any sort of mess at all. The bed was made, all their stuff was exactly where it should be. The only thing different was the fine layer of dust from how long it had been, and the fact that my parents weren't here. Oh, I sat on my parents' bed. It was always softer than mine. I remember sleeping here as a little girl when I didn't feel quite big enough to sleep on my own bed just yet. Mom would help me build pillow forts here sometime, and we would hang up a sign that said "No boys allowed." It didn't take long for me to start crying. I missed Mom and Dad. I never even got the chance to say goodbye to them. The last message I got from them, it was my mom telling me she hoped I would sleep well that night, and then the next day they were gone. Just like that. What do I do now? What if they never come back? What if I already saw them for the last time? Oh, I ended up falling asleep on my parents' bed. I was already exhausted from my lack of sleep, and crying certainly didn't help in that respect. When I woke up, I was unaware of how much time had passed. But I felt groggy, and I didn't think I should stay any longer. It'd probably make me feel worse. I got up from the bed and began to head back downstairs. It wasn't until I got to the bottom of the stairs that I noticed. Someone was here? Some stranger kneeling in front of the doorway for whatever reason. I was almost frozen in my spot. Who were they? Why were they here? No one should have been able to get in. This place was locked up. No one should have. That's right, I unlocked it. Crap. I stood there, hoping they wouldn't see me. The way they were dressed, with baggy dark clothes and their hood up, told me they were most likely bad news. Did they follow me in here? I wasn't sure what to do. I thought about trying to escape to the back way, or sneakily heading back upstairs if needed be. As soon as I took a step back, you clattered, you tripped slightly, you let out a small yelp as I caught myself on the bar stool. The stranger immediately bolted outside. Wait, I wasn't even able to get a good look at them. For a split second, I considered trying to chase after them, and even if that wasn't a stupid idea, they ran much faster than I could keep up with anyways. Panicked and slightly shaking, I took out my phone. I was so nervous, I pressed it to my ear without having even dialed anyone yet. But who would I call? The police? No, I can't do that. I was already in here when I wasn't supposed to be, and I don't want to put any kind of tension on myself. But I can't just call nobody. I have to tell somebody about this. Who? Who do I go to? Call Twyla, could it have been the killer? Call Reginald, he's close by. Call mystery number. Was that you? Oh no. Unfortunately, the mystery of who I'm about to call is gonna have to be put on hold. That's about all the time I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will continue this on to the next episode. Bye!